If you're a parent and you're watching this, notice, be alert, be aware, care enough to know when something is terribly wrong with your child. Let's talk. Like diamonds, I'm watching how you glow. Hi, how you doing, mate? That intro might throw you off a little bit because it's not it's not actually as direct as it sounds. But it's the best way I could phrase it to trigger the chain of thought that I want to trigger. No. When I was a child, losing my innocence was the most difficult thing to process. Out of all the things I had to process, that was the hardest one. When I lost my innocence, when I was abused as a child. No, there's a lot of things that ventured from that situation. Partly, I became many other things because I was abused. So that situation created multiple versions of myself that I know had to live with, coexist with, and try to control or maintain. I was abusive to myself. I was an alcoholic, suicidal, the whole nine. But why am I bringing this specific chain of thought up is because a lot of times when children experience those things, they don't know how to pass that information along to their parents. Partly because they don't even understand the situation they're in to say, hey, mom, dad, did you know this is what's going on? Help me here. Help me. Most kids don't know how to think that far ahead. I'm extending an olive branch to say, if you're a parent and you're watching this from someone that's been abused sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally, self-abuse, paying attention to your child the entire childhood, as exhausting as that sounds, if you do, you're going to end up seeing a lot of things you wouldn't otherwise see. See, as our children grow older, we relinquish our governance. As they get older, we tend to give them more room and more space and let them be their own person and their own entity. To each his own if that's your thing, but from someone that's been abused, I would tell you, as my parents, to keep that governance, to keep that awareness, to keep that sense of protectiveness, a sense of concern, of wondering how my day was at school, even if I'm giving you an attitude. Is everything okay? Is there something you want to tell me? You want to talk? Make it comfortable for that child to be able to experience what is the parent and child relationship. There are days when I wished my mother could actually see my pain for what it is without me having to try and spell it out. Because the whole time I was experiencing all of the different traumas I was experiencing, there was something parallel to that going on. I lacked understanding and I lacked a form of expression. I didn't know what was going on and I did not know how to say what was going on. I didn't know what was happening. No, if that's no, and let me be clear, that wasn't anybody's fault. At the time when I experienced that, what I experienced, my mother was in a very unique position that most mothers don't oftentimes get put in. She was forced to be mother and father. So my mother was in a space where she was in a third world country and she had to work three jobs to take care of three kids on her own. No family, very few friends. Story goes on. Because of that, my mother didn't have the opportunity to have that full-time governance and awareness and how was your day at school, and she didn't have the time for that. That's what I had to do for myself. Fast forward, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's the scenario you are given as a parent, accept it for what it is. What I'm saying is, if you have the opportunity to give that extra governance or that extra ear, or are you okay, is everything all right with you, make it so much so that your child can completely understand that they can rely on you for anything. That is something that I wish I had. That is something that I needed for a very long time. Losing my innocence at the age that I did completely destroyed me for years on end. And if I had resources or people around me that could see my pain for what it is without me having to try to express it to them, I probably would have come out a better person. I don't know. I'm assuming. But if you're a parent and you're watching that, don't ease up. No, I'm not saying, oh, dictate to your child. That's not the conversation I'm trying to have. I'm saying, if you can put in extra effort to being more aware to whether your child is okay or they're not, if there's a way that you can prevent anything I've experienced as a person from happening to yours, go that extra mile, because you never know. This world is weird and it's set up in weird ways. But everything happens for a reason. So if you do find yourself in that space where you are a parent of a child that was like me when I was younger, take it a day at a time. But just to say, don't ease up. That idea we have as parents that as the older your child gets, you relinquish. Don't do that. Or if you do, don't completely relinquish. That sense of awareness, whether you notice it or not, your child probably do needs it. But with that being said, with that being understood, it's your boy AJ, and I'm signing out.